Gotta be true to yourself. In a world there's nothing else. Gotta play the game right, gotta make your path. You scratch, you dig, you lay in your ground. You bustin' your rounds, nobody gon' stop you. No ops, no cops, everything about you. Looking good, you good, she good. Y'all people really wanna know the reason? It's that ripple effect. That's just that ripple. That's just that ripple effect. What you do, come back triple.
Hey, what's going on? It's your girl Kdot, live from the Ripple Effect. You already know what it is, and you already know the vibes. Miami, baby. What can I say? Enjoying the vibes. But I didn't miss those divisional games. I know a lot of Giants fans very upset, but let me put this into some perspective for you. We wasn't supposed to be here anyway. Look, we're ahead of schedule, like my friend said. It's 100% true. We didn't know what Daniel Jones was going to be. We had no idea. We were ready to get rid of him, right? We were even ready to get rid of Saquon Barkley before this season until he started balling out of control, right? Everybody's trying to get that contract money, but not to mention, he's also trying to remind y'all, yo, this is who I am. Daniel Jones has taken his game to a whole nother level thanks to Coach Duval and what he did for the Giants culture, right? Unbelievable. All phases of the game, Giants, an amazing season. You got to give props where props is due. Of course, we would have liked to have gone far, but come on, man. Like, the Eagles, they're a polished, you could say they're a finished team in my eyes. They're a finished team. You may not want to say that because you're a fan and you're just too emotional and you can't right now. You know what? I'll let you be. But for you others out there who understand the game and who are able to look beyond their team and say, you know what? That's a well-constructed team. They're going to do something. Even though the quarterback, Jalen Hurts, always getting all this criticism, talking about his running and it's actually a known fact that most QBs actually get hurt in the pocket, right? I'm not saying that they don't get hurt outside the pocket, but sometimes it's also their inability to scramble, right? To move around, to get away from that, from being sacked, right? But never mind, those people who think the way they think, they'll probably keep thinking it. So never mind the numbers and the statistics and the facts, right? But, man, there was the Cowboys and the 49ers game, right? See, I picked the 49ers, not because I'm a Giants fan. It's because, and it's not even because I believe so much in Brock Purdy. I do believe in Kyle Shanahan. I do believe in their system and what it offers. And the Cowboys, on the other hand, their defense is real. Dan Quinn looking for another head coaching job, you know, rightfully so. The man, he deserved it. What he did as defensive coordinator with the Cowboys, not to mention they have Michael Parsons, they have all these, they have some ballers, they have some guys that can play. But at the same time, you can't take away from what he's done there. On offense, the Cowboys they've always been like this all year. We've seen it, you've seen it, I've seen it, and we got to just sit back and just take it what it is. I feel like I know Dak as a person, right? Just because of the way his teammates speak of him. Anybody who's ever truly met him and know him, they say he's like the best guy in the world. Cool. So we're not talking about him as a person. So let's just put that over there. So Dak's over there, okay? We're not talking about him, the person. We're talking about him, the quarterback of the Cowboys, right? Of the Dallas Cowboys, of America's team, your team, right? This is what everybody keeps telling me. I live in Virginia and Cowboys fans all over the place. I'm here in Florida, Cowboys fans all over the place. People busting up their TVs. Like, come on. It's Cowboy mania. Like, you know how it is. Like, a lot of pressure are put on the Cowboys every year to win, no matter what. They were missing their QB for a while with Dak, right? And y'all were winning, but I'm saying, but you guys still had that, we're gonna win it all mindset. Mind-boggling, but that's how it is. But I don't know, guys. I think you guys should probably start moving on from Dak. I'm sorry. I think we've all been waiting for that moment. Sometimes we do want that, you know, that nice guy to finish first, but this might be one of these cases where the nice guy really does finish last. And that's a sad story. You know, I would love to hear a redemption story. Maybe they give him another season, give him another chance. But you know, and I know we've been waiting for that game, that defining moment game, like when we need something to happen. The defense has been holding us down all game. All we need is our QB is to make that one play that can put us over the top. At least to get them that NFC championship game. At least. At very least, because you know they had Super Bowl aspirations. It was way higher than that. Dallas Cowboy fans have Super Bowl aspirations and you know what? And sometimes it's like I like can't stand it, the Dallas Cowboys fans, but you know I see where they get it from. It's Jerry Jones. It really is, because he has that same mindset. No matter who he puts out on that field, he has confidence every single time. Like, these guys should come back and give me a Super Bowl. Like, that ain't it, Jerry. You need to get yourself a GM. You need to relax. You need to enjoy what you have in front of you. You know what I mean? You're an owner, dude, like, of America's favorite team. Why don't you get somebody who knows football better than you? And I'm not trying to say Jerry Jones don't know ball, but there are people who know ball better than him. And you know what? If your ultimate goal is to get you that Super Bowl, that's exactly what you should do, because that's exactly what's going to get you there. But you know what? He probably won't. They won't win. Fine for me. I just want the Giants to keep going, and we're ahead of schedule anyway. So yeah, I mean, it might be time. I'm sorry, it might be time. I'm hearing Ezekiel Elliott is actually willing to take a pay cut because he wants to stay a Cowboy. Some people are saying Zeke's past his prime and he needs to go and things of that nature. If he's willing to take a pay cut, I mean, you can always use, you know, Tony Pollard. That's unfortunate too, out with that fibula. I think he fractured fibula. Oof, nasty hit. I had no idea it was actually that bad until I actually got the update on his injury. So, I mean, but they did very well. You know, you need Zeke. You see what he does. Not just he's a power back, right? So you're going to get blocking from him. You know, he's going to move the chains. You know, Pollard, he's that explosive back, right? He'll get you a couple of 15, 20 yards, you know, on any given drive. Like, you know, you just never know. But CeeDee Lamb, he's not that one receiver I thought he was going to be personally. You guys can definitely comment on that. But that's just to me. When you got Dez Bryant and all these other guys that you're sitting here, you know, trying to anoint yourself to, nowhere near it. I'm sorry. You're not comparing to the X. Like, it's not happening. That's not happening. So that's the other problem too, you know. I know CeeDee Lamb was upset after the game, and you know how they throw these little subs because they never want to throw each other on the bus, but even though they really are throwing each other under the bus, if you're paying attention, you know, Dak did, you know, he took the blame. He pretty much said, you know, the offense didn't do exactly what, it didn't live up to the defense pretty much. Like, that's pretty much what he said. We didn't live up to the defense, and that's why we lost. And he said it all starts with me. 100%, but in my opinion, it probably started and ended with you, bro. It probably started and ended with you. When you look at what your backup did in all those games that you were out, the way they ran the ball, the way they had a plan and they stuck to it, you know. But when you're paying a guy so much money, like you're paying a Dak Prescott, oof, like what is it, 40 mil? Like, that's a lot of bread, y'all. Like, when you paying somebody that type of money, handing off just ain't gonna do it. I need more. I need to see why I'm paying you this much money. You gotta be elite. That's elite money. And we're just not seeing it. So, man, like, I'm sorry. Yeah, Dallas, you guys still have a lot to figure out. Yeah, when you look at the numbers and you kind of just step back and you look at past seasons and you can say 20 years, 30, you know, 10 years, where have we been? How many playoffs? Forget all that. Forget all that. Forget all that. Because if you get so caught up in that, you're just going to be comfortable with keeping things the same. And then you may not even make it to this position. Because like I said, the Giants ahead of schedule. The Eagles, whew, wait till the Commanders get a quarterback. That conference, that we all used to making fun of it, you know, calling it the NFC least. It ain't that no more. It's not. It's super competitive. These guys come to play. I mean, those divisional games, even throughout the season, you just never know. That's one of those games you really don't want to bet on. But at the end of the day, Cowboys got to do something. Y'all know y'all got to do something. But it's up to Jerry Jones. You know, when you owner, president, GM, CEO, you know, Jesus Christ to these people. I mean, there's nobody that can say anything over you, right? What he says goes, everybody just falls in line, just like how he likes it, right? But that's up to you guys. Oh, man. Another game, we got to talk about the Bills and the Bengals, man. Y'all got to fill me in on a lot of that. I was out here. But listen, I had the Bills. And you know what's really annoying, though, just to point this out, how a lot of you people, coming out of the woodwork talking about, oh, I knew Josh Allen was overrated. Like, no, stop, time out. I didn't hear any of that talk before the playoff started. I didn't hear it before the season started. I didn't hear it during the season. Don't start that mess now. Don't do it. Did Josh Allen have a great game? No. He's part of the blame, of course, 100%. 100%. You gotta put that on him. You saw the way Stephon Diggs reacted after that game, the way he just kind of grabbed his stuff and just wanted to be out until one of his teammates said, no, come on, man. I'm not sure if it was from the parking lot. I don't know how far he got, but point is, he wanted out. He was done. He was upset, and he wanted out. He eventually came back. He listened to the coaches, whatever their end of season, you know, rah, we ain't done yet speech, you know, and then he just booked it. What I'm gonna say about this is, there's always a team that we look at and we're like, wow, they were just better. Like, I feel like the Buffalo Bills got figured out, right? They just seemed like they were just outclassed. They were outcoached, right? They were outplayed. When you look at the matchups, remember, playoffs are a game of matchups in the NBA and NFL, both of them. I'm telling you, if you look at those individual matchups, that will literally decide the game. Whether it's from the guys in the trenches, from the guys out there in the field, when you're talking about quarterback matchups, you know, Josh Allen, he barely had 200 something yards. Like, that ain't gonna get it done in the playoffs, especially that's their style of play. Like, that's what they need. They need Josh Allen putting up like 300 yards passing. Like, that's what they need from him. And then they also need some running from him, because that's what they rely on all season long. So when you kind of go against that, especially against the Bengals, who are tired of hearing about, and I already heard that the NFL was being real crazy, already selling tickets for the for the AFC championship game, talking about the Chiefs and the Bills already before the game was even played. So you know the Bengals already felt some type of way. If I'm one of the coaches, that's the only thing I'm telling them. I ain't got to say nothing else to motivate you, because if that don't motivate you enough, then nothing else will. I'm letting you know, like, listen, they're not even counting you in it. They giving you no respect. What you've done last season, this season, no respect. Joe Burrow, to me, is being put on a whole nother level. And that's not just because of me, it's because of his play. His play speaks for itself. Jamar Chase, I mean, just the group of guys that they have out there, you know, Tyler Boyd, Mixon, these guys can flat out play, and every single time they seem to just, people don't pay them no mind. You know, and I could be part of that people, you know, that don't pay them no mind, because I did pick the Bills, but I picked the Bills just because I stuck with my pick from the beginning of the season. The beginning of the season, I had the Bills. Why? It wasn't just what they had on offense. It was Von Miller on defense as well. I know a lot of people forgot about him already, but when I said, I was like, that was like the one thing where they were missing on defense. I'm like, you get that pass rusher? You're not even asking Josh Allen to do too much, but you know he is, because that's just the type of competitor he is. But at least if you got a guy like that on defense that can get some stops for you, so they don't be putting up as that many points, forget it. But you know, I stayed faithful, I stayed loyal to my pick. Even though Von Miller went out, I was just like, you know what? Josh Allen will figure it out. Stephon Diggs, all these boys will figure it out. You know, it's been a rough season for them for sure. But at the end of the day, the Bills have definitely proven that they're that team. Like, they pretty much had that game mostly under control. Like, from what I saw, because I honestly only saw the highlights. I didn't really get to see it. You know, I was enjoying this over here. But I'm just letting you know, like, it's been it's been crazy because it definitely didn't go the way most people thought it was going to go. It really didn't. Even when I looked at the spread and I looked at all the different bets and everybody was playing, like that stuff I look at all the time, and I'm just sitting there like, man, nobody's picking the Bengals. You know, it made me a little nervous, honestly, because I'm like, I usually don't like going with everybody else's picks. So when I see that my pick lines up with everybody else's, I get a little nervous. I ain't gonna lie. I was a little bit nervous. I was like, I don't know. Because I feel like everybody's just real charged up, you know, emotionally. And when that factors into it, that's how you know you're screwed. Because that means there's no logic involved. There's no, you know what I mean? Like, there's no facts. There's nothing pure about it. It's just pure emotion. And it's like, whatever. But yeah, but all in all, I mean, I know the Giants lost, but like I said, I wasn't expecting much. I picked them because that's just my team, but I wasn't really expecting much. But all in all, it's been some pretty good games. You know, definitely didn't want to see that blowout by my Giants. I didn't want to see that, but that's just kind of how it was. And also to answer some questions, because I know a lot of people had these questions for me. They were like, yeah, but I know you didn't know that they were going to beat the Eagles, but how did you know they were going to beat, you know, the Minnesota? You know, guys, the Vikings, really? Come on. I saw them almost lost to the Commanders, and this was with, were they playing that other quarterback? Actually, don't quote me on that, because I don't know if they had Winston just yet, so don't quote me on that. But I saw them live. I almost saw them like lost to the Commanders, and this was before the Commanders were really, you know, going on that winning streak and doing what they were doing. It was crazy, and that's when I was like, oh, you guys aren't for real. No way. Your record is definitely lying to us. This is when the numbers are not telling us the truth, right? Because when you see those numbers, you're thinking like, oh man, this game is this team is crazy. No, if that's why you have to watch the games, right? That's how you have to sit there and analyze things. When you saw the Giants, they were clearly making something out of nothing, clearly. But here's the difference. I didn't see much celebrating going on the plane, you know, with all the chains and the, you know, doing a little Kirk Cousins, you know, mixing it up, getting all crazy. Like they were just, I don't want to say Cowboy fan-ish, but they were ascending in that direction, and to me that was delusional. So I'm like, okay, you guys are not for real. You guys are just playing. You know, the Giants had their heads down, gave all the props, you know, to Coach Dable, and rightfully so, Coach of the Year. I know Nick Sirianni's got it, but you know, but he's got Jalen Hurts. I feel like people are only going to say that about Nick Sirianni just because they don't want to give that credit to Jalen Hurts, and that's annoying. You know, like, honestly, like, I know you saw that. That's annoying. Like, that, I can't. Like, I just can't. So, we're not going to do that. We're just not. But like I said, it's been an interesting weekend. I had to get those games out of the way. I had to talk about that. I feel like I'm forgetting something. I probably am. But it's been a fun weekend. It's definitely been fun. Well, my weekend, not really yours, but it's been a fun weekend for sure. No, I'm only saying that because, you know, some people are hurt right now. Some people really got their feelings hurt because of their teams, and I can't say that I don't feel for them, because I definitely do. But at the end of the day, you know, it's football, baby. Like, you know, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, you know. I just feel like I'm forgetting about a game. Like, there was definitely a game won. Because I saw most of the games. I saw all the games. I was definitely commenting on most of them. And I don't know. If I remember later, I'll let y'all know. But y'all already know. I only ask y'all to remember one thing. Losses equals life lessons. I'm out. Peace. Hey, what's going on? I'm back. How did y'all let me forget about the Jaguars in that Chiefs game? I actually watched that game in its entirety. My wife was tight. Y'all don't remember that? Come on, man. Y'all didn't even help me out. You know, it's all good. I forget. Anyway, we got to talk about it. Because, first of all, I remember why I forgot. It's been a while since Duval County has been in the playoffs, right? The Jaguars. They put up a great fight. I think the ending of that game ended up being like, 27-20? Patrick Mahomes had this scary injury that we wasn't really sure about. Man, I mean, one guy tackled him, the other one is on his ankle, and it was crazy. It was crazy because honestly, I thought he either broke something, pulled something, or both. But my man just asked for more tape. He wanted to go back in the game. Trainers looked around and was like, "No, we need to get you seen. You gotta get some X-rays, man. Possibly an MRI in the morning. We gotta see what we're really dealing with, before we could just send you out there because you already know how it is." But my man went out there. They said everything was clean, at least on the X-rays. All you saw was all this tape on him. My man was limping out there, even for one. Oh man, like Patrick Mahomes he's that dude. He's that dude. He's always been that dude. I told you, I called him Showtime Mahomes years ago when he had that crazy, like some people call it the second year because he sat the first behind Alex Smith, but nah. You know what? It was incredible. Like his leadership ability, that connection to Travis Kelce is unmatched. Unmatched. No, but here's the thing. Everybody thought that he was going to do worse. Worse. Why? Because he didn't have the cheetah. He didn't have Tyreek Hill. He didn't have that guy he could just say, I'm just going to throw it up there. I know Tyreek Hill is somewhere down there. He don't have that guy. You know what? But he does have some reliable guys, to get the job done. And he got Andy Reid, right? As long as you got Andy Reid and you got all reliable and Travis Kelce, man, you guys are solid, even with that injury. And we are nervous about that injury moving forward because they do have to play the Bengals, and you already know what a matchup that's going to be because Bengals feel like they have something to prove. They tired of people disrespecting them. A lot of people that probably have tickets to that game thought they were going to see the Bills and the Chiefs, and now they've seen the Bengals and the Chiefs. Listen, we're in an era right now that a lot of people are not used to. If you've been watching football for like 20, 30 years, you're sitting here looking like, what? We had the Jaguars in the playoffs this year? Yep. We got the Bengals, in meaningful AFC championship games back-to-back years? Nah. If I had told y'all 20 years ago, I probably would have got laughed at, right? But you know what? This is where we at. This is what we dealing with. Shout out to Trevor Lawrence, showing people, like, listen, when quarterbacks are put in a bad spot, especially under Urban Meyer and his foolishness, when you don't have true leadership, and now you have Doug Peterson, right? He already showed you what he did there in Philly. When we were listening to Dreams and Nightmares for like 2 years. Remember that? Like, come on. Culture is everything. That's something I always preach. That's something that I'll always talk about because it matters. It's leadership. It trickles on down, right? It's like somebody said, I can't even think of the person, but they said, who needs a leader when everybody's winning, when everybody's happy, right? You need a leader when things aren't going well. You need a leader when things are just in despair, where it just looks like it's just not going to work out for you. That's when you need a leader to rise in those moments, who can lean on culture, right? Can be able to say, listen, we're going to pull through this no matter what. And even the way Trevor Lawrence kind of stood in the tunnel, high-fived all his guys, no matter what. That fumble at the end of the game, like that cost him, right? But when you have that leader in that tunnel saying, listen, we're going to be back. They weren't expecting us last year or this year, but next year, they're going to know we're a problem and we're coming, and that's huge. Just even those small little gestures, it's huge. Guys got to sign contracts, right? Guys got to figure out whether they got to take less to stay with the team. All these different decisions factor in. And if you realize that you have a guy in Trevor Lawrence who's still growing, still learning, and definitely is where he needs to be. Because sure, he's making mistakes, these little things. That's fine. But look where they ended up. He's coachable, still willing to learn. These are qualities that guys are gonna want to play with, right? They're gonna want to play with a guy like that. They're gonna want to be around a guy like that because you know why? It's gonna help them with their game. It's because it's gonna make them want to elevate their game. because they understand the standards. Man, I can't believe I forgot about that game. But anyway, that was probably one of the best ones, just because of the competitiveness and just because, you know, the drama that it brought when Patrick Mahomes went down and you saw him come back. It was just, we don't know what to expect. We were like, whoa, because if you guys pay attention to the betting numbers, you know, you saw them just, they were all over the place, you know, until they finally just leveled out, you know, once they realized that Patrick Mahomes wasn't going to be questionable and he did actually return to the game for the remainder of the game. And then you can get more of an idea, you know, of how everything was going to shape up. But I give them a lot of credit. I give the Jaguars a lot of credit. They weren't supposed to be there. Nobody had them picked. Trust me, I talked to a lot of people. Y'all didn't have them picked. I don't want to hear that one person in the back, oh, I thought they were. No, you didn't. But anyway, until next time, always remember one thing. Losses equals life lessons. Peace.
Gotta be true to yourself. In a world there's nothing else. Gotta play the game right, gotta make your path. You scratch, you dig, you lay in your ground. You bustin' your rounds, nobody gon' stop you. No ops, no cops, everything about you. Looking good, you good, she good. Y'all people really wanna know the reason. It's that ripple effect. That's just that ripple. That's just that ripple effect. What you do, come back triple.